So here we go, guys. This is the full map. I love just staring at it for 10, 15 minutes before I pick a country. So incredible. So many empty areas. Like, do these places even have population? I guess they do, but they don't have a settled country yet, so I was thinking of maybe trying to play in Asia again. Yesterday I finished a campaign with Sukhothai. I formed Thailand, which was probably the most difficult and annoying thing I could have ever tried in EU4, EU5, I mean, sorry. So Thailand is one of those countries that has the primary culture is Thai, but the dominant culture is something else. I don't know what Lawa is. Austrasiatic. Okay. It was almost impossible to convince my vassals to flip to Thai, and assimilating other cultures was basically impossible because Thai doesn't really have that much cultural tradition, influence, right? Anyway, back to Europe. I also did a campaign with Wallachia where I formed Romania after like 200 years. Honestly, Wallachia isn't a bad place to start forming Romania, uh, because you have decent population. You also have mostly flat lands, so I don't know if you can see in the terrain map mode, but this is all like flat lands. Control is very good, just off the bat compared to other countries. Like you can build up control really easily in your country. You can have basically every province around 50 before before like paved roads and everything. So yeah, and I found it pretty easy to flip territories in like Bulgaria to Wallachian. Yeah, so overall it was pretty easy, pretty chill game. I had to restart only like 3, 4 times, but other than that it was fine. I was thinking of maybe playing Naples or Sweden. Maybe Naples or Sweden would be a good choice. I swear that this guy's portrait looks exactly like. Oh no, I thought I thought they used the same portrait for King Philip. They kind of look similar though. They might be cousins. Are they? No, they're not cousins. Anyway, Naples is a pretty interesting country. In EU4, it was kind of underpowered because of the marriage union between it and Aragon. But yeah, I think that we might play as Naples, ally with the Pope, and just snake our way through Italy with like vassals and all that stuff. Except Median, except all of the Italian cultures, and then form Italy. Obviously go for Sicily first, then maybe jump to Sardinia so we can like block Tunisia from ever setting foot in Italy. Then maybe we can go the Balkan route. I know that where is it? I know that Italy has I'm sorry, Naples has a few vassals to subjects. There we go. So this is one of Naples' vessels. Right, so back to what I was saying about Naples. Um, One of the bonuses about playing as this country is also starting off in a marriage union, even though marriage unions suck, but uh, you get Provence in a marriage union. You can kind of snake your way to Provence, I guess, via Genoa and all of these other small Italian countries, Pisa, Siena, just snake your way to Provence and eventually annex them in like 100 years. But that's really difficult. It's just so tedious. Right. So now we loaded up a game with Naples. I don't know why it says here we gain 200k population. I don't know, maybe Naples annexed one of their subjects in Italy. Maybe it had like a subject in Italy that it just annexed. I'm not sure. Anyways, these are our subjects in Albania, also one in Greece. So members leaving the union, okay. It's leaving due to their succession law. Honestly, I'm not mad about these countries leaving the union because they're really useless. I mean, right, so here's the start as Naples. You obviously want to max out printing, I mean mining to the max so you don't have any inflation. Put these on auto. Of course, the clergy doesn't get taxed. What a surprise. Um, Keep stability at the lowest, maybe invest a bit more. Diplomatic spending can stay at this level. Obviously, we want to buy as much food as we need. Right, this is building maintenance. Army maintenance goes to a minimum. Navy maintenance as well. Fort maintenance as well. We're not at war, so we don't need those to be at max. We have our own market, which is a big plus. It's also in our capital, so we don't have to do much I mean, Naples has a great start. Um, yeah, at the beginning, I don't think this has loaded yet, but I think we'll be making a good chunk of money from our our market here. I think this is gonna refresh after the first month, as most things do. First thing to do with the army, you have like all of these pop-ups, lack of commander. We want one of our royals in charge. So this is the navy. I'm gonna put one of my, who is this? Our royal's nephew. Okay, gonna put the nephew in charge here as an admiral. And for the army, we're gonna put our king in charge. And after the month ticks over, we should probably have like 30% crown power already from just these two changes. Then we should also add uh, autocracy as one of the reforms. Um, right, for the extra crown power. I'm looking at the other ones and none of them really have any upside compared to this one. So this is the first reform I'm gonna give. And you see that the crown power already jumped, so that's great. Burgers. I always like to give burgers some more power to balance out. This is a good privilege to give out because you have this till the end of the game, monthly development. And as you can see, it does give a bit of power to the nobles, but I think it's worth it. Right, so now the nobility is a bit pissed. Clergy is always happy because they don't get taxed, and the commoners, they don't really matter. So yeah. Okay. Um, Cabinet. I think I'm just gonna stick them on stability and legitimacy. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna pick. We don't have anyone from our noble family, so I think this will do. Just stick him on. Ooh, foster new culture. Wow, that's interesting. I haven't seen this one. We form a new primary culture. I haven't played with this. I don't know what countries get this cabinet action and why. But okay, maybe it's something to look forward to. So strengthen government, right? So now we're starting to make some money and also stabilize country because there's not much else to do, honestly. I mean, we might actually. I'm gonna pick. Which one should I pick? I think maybe this guy. No, I'm gonna pick this one. Okay. You want to have like a good balance of traits because sometimes changing these cabinet members might cause you it. Look, you have 5 stability as like a cost to change cabinet members. And so typically what I do is like you stick them in there and you change actions maybe. So you want like a good balance of traits. So we've appointed cabinet members. Um, they don't really have that great of like traits, but right now we just need strength in government and stabilizing the country. Those are two good actions to start with. House control. Control isn't that great, but it will get better. We can do like the naval route for these areas and for like the center of the country, we can always like build roads, bridges. Let me see, can we build any bridges right now? Of course, we don't have that much money, but no, we don't really have anywhere to build bridges in. Okay, right. Inefficient minting. So we might also want to manually import some more gold if we can. We should also look at advances now. So we just do the classic ones. Cultural tradition, monthly diplomats, maximum RGO size, stability investments. I don't really play around with religious influence that much, but it's good to have. Monthly army tradition is very good. Uh, Diplo capacity, it's not really a factor, honestly. We're basically just waiting for Age of Renaissance to fire. Okay. So that being done, I think we can unpause, pop with needs. Yeah, I'm guessing we just do this for now. What I like to do is just build up the five most profitable ones and then just wait a few years and then just redo that over and over. Because right now, if we just kept building, it would also build like less profitable ones, and you don't know which one you need in the future. So for now, it's fine. Just the five most profitable ones is fine. Um, right, so we need to manage the education of these children. I typically prefer giving them all administrative education because administrative abilities also improve what is it? Crown power and proximity cost, which is just so important for like everything, I guess. The economy, how you play the game. In this game, like the most important statistic ever is control. Like if I had like 50 control here, I'd be making 20 0.20 ducats instead of 0.22 ducats instead of 0.09. So yeah, the fact that uh what is it, Provence, I think the following members will leave. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure which one of these. I think all of them are gonna leave the union. How big is this new union? So we have four countries including myself. um right, so all of them are just gonna leave because of their succession laws, which isn't really a big issue because once they leave, we might actually try to do a marriage union on a better country than Provence and the other small ones. We also have the Guelphs. In the beginning, there's like this event that triggers between the Guelphs and the Ghibellines, and we want to try and conquer all the Ghibelline faction uh, Italian states. So like Venice, maybe try and snag Venice, try and snag Aquileia, these other small countries here, whatever. Ascoli, Ascioli, however it's pronounced. Okay, so that's actually part of my country? No, this is Ferno. There's so many small countries in Italy. Look, all of them have like 30k people. Just incredible. Just looking at the map of Italy, there's so many pockets of like huge, huge populations. This is what I like about playing in this area of the world because you don't really need to build like new cities, new towns. I played as Romania, Wallachia into Romania, and you had to like build your first city because you start off with like miserable population, like nothing, 16k in your capital, and that's like the highest population province in the whole country. At least Bulgaria has like Tarnovo with 30k, and you have a few other provinces that are like semi-decent. You could build a city here, build a city here, potentially build a city here, and slowly build like some towns in between. But other regions really suck in terms of like population density. Also, we have this little exclave of the Pope. We really don't want to start going to war against the Pope anytime soon. We actually want to improve relations with him and maybe ally him against all the Italian nations. And then I think let's see what happens in northern Italy if we have to ally Verona or Milan. These two generally end up being like the superpowers of the north. The north, from like The Sopranos. I hated the north. Right, so yeah, we have to set rivals. So I would probably set someone far away. I don't really want to fight anyone that I rival. So maybe just rival the Kingdom of Norway, Tlemcen. Yeah, I think this is fine. Honestly, I try to strategically align like my rivals as far as possible because I don't want to ally someone that is allied to my rival and, lose that alliance because of some stupid mechanic. Okay, so inefficient mining really sucks. We should probably automate these. And if this doesn't go away, then we might have to manually do some trades for gold, which isn't fun, but right now we can't do anything because the month hasn't ticked over. And we have a bunch of other children we have to educate. All of them go into administrative. And I think that's it. I think we can unpause now. Speed 4, unpause. Wow. The Byzantine Empire declared us as a rival. Claim the throne, casus belli against this kingdom. Claim the throne, casus belli on Albania. Where's Albania? Kingdom of Albania, okay. They're already our subjects, so it's fine. If we look at the diplomacy map mode and manage subjects, we have Albania as our subject, as our vassal. They're pretty loyal, so it's fine. And then the Duchy of Aquileia. What I like to do with vassals typically is enforce culture and maybe even religion. I'm not sure if they're Orthodox, so at least these ones are Aquileia. Okay, so why can't we enforce religion? Are they technically Catholic? Wow. Okay, so they're technically Catholic. Primary culture Frankian, which doesn't make any sense. How is this possible? So they're our subject, but they're Frankian. Right, and our leader is also Frankian. That might be the reason why. Okay, so in any case, we have to enforce culture because this is how I play. I don't really accept that many cultures. Just try to, in this campaign, I'm probably gonna stick to like the Italian ones and that's it because it doesn't really make sense to accept every possible culture in your nation. So what else can we do? Enforce culture on this kingdom. And who are these people? Right, so they're subjects of my subjects. So when I'm gonna eventually annex this fucker, I'm gonna be able to annex all of these other idiots. Is this also a subject? Okay. So this tiny nation has a lot of much bigger subjects, I guess, like combined. So I think we're gonna have to bail this country out of some rebellions pretty soon, because that's what happens when let me just look at this. So after a while, if you have like too many subjects of a single type like vassal or fiefdom, they kind of gang up on you and they start to have like a lot of liberty desire and loyal and less loyalty. Okay, so we have just now flipped these two countries to Neapolitan culture. As you can see, we have like I think 15%. It should be like 15, 16%. No, wait, we have to go to the capital. Where's the capital of this country? So go to capital. Okay, this is the capital. Okay, there we go. So basically, when you enforce culture on one of your subjects, what happens is the capital kind of starts to what's it called? It starts to flip to your culture and then it spreads out from the capital. So now we expect like Neapolitan to grow, hopefully. The issue is that Greek has much more cultural tradition and also influence, so I think we're just going to have to slowly convert this country. I've done this many times before, and what basically happens is you have to enforce culture many times until they finally accept uh, your culture in more provinces, and then it just snowballs essentially. Also, we've enforced Neapolitan here, which should be really quick. So it's 16%. Albania doesn't really have any cultural tradition or influence, so it might flip really quickly, and then we can maybe um, annex this and do the same for the rest. But this is just so tedious. Like this area right here of Albania, I would have rather just maybe cancel vassal status and just let these countries be absorbed by Serbia or the Byzantine Empire and fight whoever absorbs them and just make a bigger single subject, you know. But Achaea looks decent, at least on paper. So yeah, we have the situation Rise of the Turks. Honestly, I'm not sure why we get this situation ourselves because we really don't have any territory in the Balkans. So we only have like the subjects in the Balkans, which is whatever. Also, the Byzantine Empire rivaled us, so we're not really gonna help them. Just let them be eaten by the Ottomans. If the Ottomans are in any way, shape, or form relevant in this campaign, maybe some other Turkish nation will arise. Right now, the number one is the Beylik of the Ottomans, but second is also the Karanids, the Karamanids. Okay, we'll see. Anyway, we have some rebels that are slowly forming. We have a few Orthodox zealots. Okay, this is gonna be pretty easy to handle. Honestly, I don't think that this is really gonna grow much into a real rebellion. And we're also making a lot of cash from our market. but we have needs that are not met. Furniture, fine cloth, fruits, legumes, fish, right? Gold. I swear, every country has the same issues in the start, like not enough gold to mint efficiently. Uh, Typically, I'll see like sturdy grains here as a need that isn't met. Yeah, we can definitely develop these resources ourselves. We can build some buildings for jewelry, develop some RGOs for fishing. Yeah, okay, let's start. So we can build one RGO here for fish. Also, let's look for fruit somewhere. We have to have like some fruit province. Maybe not. Ooh, we have saffron. Saffron's pretty good. Right, so it seems like we have fruit, but it's in a different market. Anyway, Dubrovnik. We want to probably take over this market because it's so close to ours and it just makes sense to like take it over. Republic of Ragusa. It's a subject of Venice. So I think we're just gonna go for Venice if we can. If we're capable of like snaking our way towards like Venice, that would be amazing. Or if we can have like access and just take over Ragusa, just this tiny piece of land. So it doesn't go to like Serbia or Hungary or some other nation. Actually, we want to improve relations with Hungary after we get back one diplomat because like Hungary is always, you know, 200 years can pass. You can actively fight Hungary as much as you can, but Hungary is still gonna be there. So it's one of those countries that will always be there, regardless. So we're gonna improve relations with Hungary. So now if you look at pop satisfaction, these people are really unsatisfied because of what? Jewish peasants are unsatisfied. Let me. This whole tooltip in a tooltip thing is amazing, but Neapolitan tolerance of Judaism, okay. Judaism view of Catholicism, well, we can't really do anything about that, so maybe just get converted slowly. Crusade against Egypt. Ooh, no, thank you. I'd actually vote no here. I don't want any crusades, especially against like what's this, the Mamelukes. They're always very strong. So here we have a very important pop-up for like this event. We should probably change our succession law to cognatic primogenitor, whatever, because as you can see, our successor is the King of Hungary, which will essentially bring us into a union with Hungary. And Hungary is actually a stronger nation than we are. So I think that technically makes us a junior partner, at least for a while until we manage to like grow and stuff. But I think just to prevent any shenanigans, we should probably go for this succession law and lose some opinion with Hungary, which is fine. There we go. underage heir. We're already investing in her education. Okay, so this is our ruler's granddaughter. And Hungary is fine with us. They're not so angry. So that was probably the best decision we could have made there. Okay, so now I'm thinking of maybe spying on these people. So force into faction. Yeah, I think we're gonna build up spy network here. Maybe, yeah, let me see the Guelphs map. Okay, so these two are for the taking, which is great. Let me spy on this guy as well. Actually, we have to wait for a diplomat. Let me spend some more on diplomacy. So I hate when this event triggers. It happens for almost every country. I don't know why, but it just does. So we have to pick between one of his traits. So which one do we reduce? I think that we're gonna like balance him out and maybe choose reduce diplomatic duties because we're not doing that much with diplomacy right now. Loyalty of subject, diplomatic reputation. Yeah, I think that this is the best right now. Yeah, our leader right now is in the dump. If you compare him to like a good leader, look at this guy's statistics. King Casimir. Oh, great. So we can gain prestige or gain legitimacy. In this case, we're gonna go for legitimacy. Also, I think I'm gonna build a spy network for this other small country here. And now we just wait to get back diplomats. I also might stop improving opinion with Hungary just to get back some monthly diplomats. We're already spending so much money on diplomacy. But in my opinion, it's worth it to like get these two countries in our camp, start expanding a bit. I might also go for, I'm not sure if these two countries like Cagliari and Arborea are part of the situation. Yes, they are. Okay, so we might be able to go for Arborea and maybe ask for military access from Cagliari. Do these guys have any allies? No, and they're so weak. Right now, we're just waiting for the spy network to build. And then when we get our parliament, we might want to change some laws here. Typically, I start with the estate, the distribution of power law to favor the ruler, get a bit more crown power. Right now we're at 34%. We should typically, the target should be around 50%. I've had it as high as like 70% once. Also, while the spy network is building here, we also might want to. Okay. this doesn't really matter. Efficiency of our cabinet. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We don't want to lose stability right now. Um, Also might want to give this guy an insult, send an insult. Your mother was a hamster and your father smells of elderberries. Wow. Okay. Now that one was actually amazing. Okay, so we instantly lose 50 opinion with this guy, and we also should do the same for this other small country. Send them an insult. There we go. Because now when we're gonna attack them, we're not gonna lose as much stability as we would. Okay. So this painter moves back to his country. I don't see the issue. Yeah, maybe keep him around. I hate spending money on these events. What we really should be doing is connecting our country to like the big producing areas of the. We should connect our capital to the areas with the highest tax base. Maybe go for Aquileia first, and then maybe expand like south towards Lecce. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So building from our capital, we should probably try and connect it to, let's go this route. I think that's okay for now. As I said, we need as much control as we can. Control is really bad at the beginning, so we only have like 12% in some areas. We're basically making no money from these provinces. Right, so there are worse situations in other countries, but yeah, look, the Pope has no control in his main area, I guess, because the capital is in Avignon. I've seen like a strat that some people do with uh, playing as like the Pope. You just sell Avignon to Provence or France or something, so the capital moves back to Rome. Not a bad strat. So now we have uh, 20 spy network on this one, this country. So we can finally create a casus belli once we get a diplomat. Spend more on diplomacy. Okay, there we go. Create casus belli. Now we can also stop building the spy network. Gain some more diplomats that way. Not much happening in Italy at the moment. The Guelphs and Ghibelline situation is kind of stagnant. Oh look, we got a claim the throne casus belli against Croatia. Only issue is if I attack Croatia, I also go to war with Hungary. And we are slightly stronger than them, but it's really hard to cross with all the troops. It's fine when you're defending, but when you're attacking, you have to really be stronger and with a good navy. Okay. Our subjects will slowly learn to like us again. It's gonna be a long road back to loyalty, but by that point we're gonna have them flip maybe to our primary culture. you know, I can't wait to see like the first fully blue province in this vassal territory. Yeah. Honestly, I love just looking at the culture map and see how it like it evolves, you know. Hungarian, it's spreading out really quickly. It bleeds into so many other areas. Slovak, look, Carpathian German. So now we should pick uh, which estate we give power to. I guess our king is sick and can't handle all the aspects of ruling Naples. Okay. So I think we should just give some more power to the commoners in this case. Yeah, I'm fine with that. There we go. No biggie. So we're currently making one manpower a month. We should probably delete one of our ships because we're not making any sailors. And no, we have two monthly sailors and one is maintenance, but we're gaining none. So how does that make sense? Anyway, soon enough we're gonna start building a casus belli against this guy as well. We can ease off of the diplomacy, spending. We are probably gonna increase ties to neighbors. None of these are great. Yeah, I think it's gonna be increased ties to neighbors. Yeah, I don't need this because actually if the debate passes, which we don't really plan on it passing, so that's not a big issue. Here's the question. Do you start attacking people with a fabricate casus belli? Or do you wait and first just ask for a law change? That's the question. Do we change our laws first or do we attack first? I'm honestly more inclined towards attacking first because I'm really afraid of like the Pope cutting off this corridor towards the rest of like the states. I don't want to always like have to do stuff with my navy and things to get to like northern Italy and central Italy, and I don't want to fight the Pope this early. So we might just fight like some. I think Pizarro is fine. Let me see the map. So we want to fight someone that's not part of the other faction, so we can reserve them for this method of like expansion. This is difficult. Yeah, I think Pizarro is the best. Let me look at the tax base first. Yeah, I mean it's whatever, honestly. Ancona. Do these guys have any allies? Perhaps? Maybe we can do like a 2-in-1. No, none of them have allies. Wait, yeah, but they actually have strong allies, these guys. Pavia, can't really see them, okay. All the way over there. So if we fight this little nation of Urbino, which has a bit of territory actually, Urbino's not doing bad. We might get this exclave here and Siena, but it's not guaranteed, obviously. We might just form a subject, but yeah, it's gonna be a bit difficult here because this this nation's mostly Median, and this is like Siena's obviously like the premier Tuscan, actually, tied with like Florence, I guess. They're so Tuscan, they're like 100% Tuscan. Okay, so yeah, we might go to war with Urbino, I think, first. Take out these guys. Pavia is not even gonna contribute much. I just want to surround the Pope and like block any expansion routes. Especially this corridor here is really important for me because I'm basically I can basically get squeezed out of the rest of Italy by like a few provinces. Like he can take these two provinces and just cuck me from ever reaching the rest of my goals, I guess. Do we have form a new country? Yeah, we do. So we can form the two Sicilies, which is like a tier 2 nation, which is something we should probably do actually. Let me look into that. So Sicily is, wait a second. No, Sicily is from our faction. Okay, so we can't really do much with Sicily. I think I'm gonna leave Sicily for last because I really don't see the advantage in going for Sicily right now when we can take out so many smaller nations. So I've decided on fabricating a casus belli on Urbino. It doesn't really matter that we're gonna have like this exclave here, but it's fine, honestly. And I think um, by the time this casus belli gets formed, we should already be um, we should have we should already be finishing with this war right here. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so here we go. Let's start this war against Urbino. Can I co-belligerent these guys? Do I need to? So I co-belligerented Siena. Okay. And that brought in Republic of Pistoia. Okay. Doesn't really matter. Let's... Ooh, I'm gonna lose 9 stability because due to Siena being a co-belligerent. Do I have good relations with Siena? Okay, let's not do that, I guess. Honestly, I don't really want to take that much. I just want to take maybe just these two provinces and maybe vassalize this country. Pitigalliano. Anyway, let's trigger the war. Honestly, I don't know if I have military access to get to these countries, but we'll see. Let's get them all here. Consort Regency. Could be worse. Counter-espionage gets worse. During Regency we have better stability investment. I mean, worse things could have happened, honestly. Let's get a competent leader in charge here as a general. Let's balance this one out. Let's allow attachments. Yeah, I think we can do, let's do uh, two 10k stacks, actually. Well, actually 12k stacks, 15k stacks actually. There we go. I don't know why they don't make them equal. Might just be... Ooh, what's this? Army initiative. Progress towards offensive. Yeah, let's do this. Anyway. We do have military access. There we go. And these guys also don't have any forts, so we can just walk in essentially. Okay. This is great. Yeah, no, we're just gonna bully these guys. So these troops are lacking food. We might have to ask the Pope for food access, which isn't really a problem, but do we bring out the naval levies? Yeah, I think we should. Why not? How are we on like naval strength? Okay. How come we have like 12 countries in our thing here? Ah, cause like these are the subjects of like Albania, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. Let's try to maybe knock out Pavia. Or like do something because this is gonna suck. Okay. King Robert the Wise of Anjou comes into power. Okay. Nope. Actually, this is something else. Right, so now we have like a pop-up for sure, whatever. Come to our court. Doesn't really matter. We are lacking a general. Okay, let me just automate this because I'm always annoyed with this mechanic. Replace admirals, replace generals. And they just automatically do that, so it's fine. Also, if you're ever confused on how to like just select the navy, because it always selects the armies whenever you do one of these, like you try and select everything. Just click Control and then select, and it will select the navy, only the navy. In case you didn't know that, you're welcome. There's not much the navy can do here except for maybe send supplies. Thank God the issue failed because that would have given us better relations with this country. Let me send another insult just in case. Yeah, they're really pissed now. Or actually, they're not. That's surprising. I guess it's really hard to insult your way into bad relations in this game. We still don't have 100% legitimacy, which is really sucky. I mean, it's really hard to take forts in this game. It's really, really hard. I mean, with like the levies. There we go. Kind of wiped this stack. Maybe that's gonna give us a bit of so right now if I want to do this, I can, but maybe I can also take Siena. Aggressive expansion isn't that bad. We can always improve relations with the people that matter, like the Pope, for instance. We can also create a casus belli now on this other small country here and stop building a spy network. Great. So we're on track for like big things, big things. Lucca and Siena are also in a different war, I think. Let me check. Yes, they're in two wars. So the Signoria of Milan, I think, is attacking some country. Let me look at this. So Milan is the defender in this war. Okay, the attacker is Pisa. Honestly, I don't really care. I'm gonna do my own thing anyway. But just for the sake of... Yeah, we're attacking a different faction. No, we're attacking our own faction, which sucks, but it's whatever. We shouldn't really care about that. I'm surprised that we have food here. Is it because of the navy? If we park our navy back into Naples, do we lose food? Okay. Yeah, I think we should anger the clergy for a university. Yeah, that's always a good trade-off. Because honestly, like the clergy gains back its satisfaction really quickly. So yeah, they'll be above 50% almost instantly. And it's not worth it to not have that library built or not have that university built. So yeah. Now we just wait for Siena. Maybe we can separate piece these guys. No, we can't. I was thinking of maybe just giving them like 100 gold and just kicking them to the curb so we can add like a bit more war score. New outbreak, okay. Prosperity in Napoli decreases. We should now maybe... No, we don't do that with this character. Actually, they both suck, so it doesn't really matter. We should probably do a recovery effort. Yeah. Okay. And this is gonna be really quick because typically it doesn't take much for So the recovery effort is already done. So now we can stick this guy back into, I think, stabilizing the country. Yeah, there we go. Great. Amazing. So now I think we should also start to maybe spy on another one of these countries, maybe Repubblica of Città di Castello. We can't build a spy network because they're subject of Perugia. And Perugia, let me just... So wait a second, Perugia is in our faction, but their subject isn't. So, wait a second. How does this work? So I build up a spy network on them to then build a casus belli against their subject. This makes no sense for me. I'm sorry, but this feels kind of dumb right now. Yeah, sure, let me try it. So once I get to 20, create casus belli. We lack 20, okay. Spy network in Perugia. Okay, so technically this should transfer over, I guess. I think we should probably end this war right now, just because it really doesn't make any more sense to drag this out. Force faction change. Honestly, I don't really care about faction changing anything. Can we get some gold out of this? Nope, not even a tiny bit of gold. Okay, just get them out of the war. Okay. These guys won't separate peace because they're mentally ill, I guess. They're okay with being annexed. And do we take anything from Siena? Like, do we try to snake our way around the Pope? Because if we also... Wait. If we were to make like a subject, can we make like a one province subject here? Would that make any sense? So wait a second, let me just think of this. So if I separate piece these guys and take all their money, right? I can make a subject here, no problem. Ooh, they can give me some levies actually. Wow, 500 levies. Amazing. Um, Honestly, 500 seems a lot actually, because let me see. We get 100%. Yeah, that's why. We get 100% control for the first month. Yeah, so if you're ever like low on levies, just annex separate piece one of the people that you're fighting and just, you know, get their levies. What was I trying to do? Create a subject. Wait, we can create a historical subject? No. Custom subject. Ah, we can't do this while we're at war. Okay, so that doesn't matter. Anyway, let's just do this, I guess. Take all their money and maybe humiliate them. Ooh, we could have maybe vassalized them? Like the whole thing? There's no way. Do we wait to like vassalize them? Hmm. Now that I think of it, maybe that's the best option we have. Okay. Yeah, we can definitely vassalize them. Everyone's gonna be mad. Like everyone. But it's better than doing this. Yeah, they're gonna be pissed if I do that. So don't do that. Siena becomes a vassal. Okay. Yeah, they're gonna hate us for like 1,000 years. But at least we have much less aggressive expansion. And we block the Pope. I guess from like this area here, but whatever. It's better than the alternative. Okay, and this guy gets full annexed. No questions asked. Do we also vassalize this tiny country? Let me think of this. Should we? Should we vassalize them? Yeah, fuck it, let's do it. There we go. So as you can see, oh, they actually don't hate us. Wow. That's surprising. So if I vassalize these guys, I basically get no aggressive expansion. Yeah, that's fine for me. Just become my vassal. Also, another thing about having so many vassals is that I think, yeah, so vassal subjects pushes you towards decentralization. So you want to mix in like a bit of annexations, a bit of, yeah. We might actually, wait a second. We might actually try to integrate this little exclave here because, let me see. So it's mostly Median, which is accepted. A little bit of Tuscan. Yeah, we might actually try and integrate this area here. I'm gonna take um, this bit here and vassalize the rest, I think. Yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. So take this bit and there we go. Aggressive expansion is actually pretty heavy for this bit of territory here. So I've only seized this province. Yeah, no, that's it. Okay. And I'm also gonna use this vassal here to improve opinion of a million, which is yeah. I don't know how easy it is gonna be to accept a million, but yeah, we should definitely accept it at some point. So war's over. Okay. So now I'm gonna stick one of these two on, I think strengthen government is gonna change to integrate province. So I'm gonna integrate this province first and then this other one. And in the meantime, we should definitely disband our levies. There we go. Oh, yeah, this guy's stuck here now. Amazing. Yeah, we can just wait a bit for the casus belli to trigger. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is go to war with this guy, force into faction. There we go. Raise my levies. Ooh, he has a castle. We can directly prevent him from raising troops, I guess. There we go. And that's it. See, this is the expected amount of like levies I was like expecting from this territory. It was giving me 500 in the start because I had 100 control, but now with like 0 control it gives me like 10 people. So that's great. These ones I think I'm gonna just, yeah, I don't think I need uh let me just do half. Yeah, just half I think. And then the rest are gonna be disbanded. There we go. We might also want to stick the navy here just to kind of blockade, I think. But that won't really do much, honestly. Okay. Locally known novel is created by Giovanni Boccaccio. Okay. It's gonna cost us stability and a bit of money. Okay. I'm honestly not that keen on this stuff. So works of art we only have one at the moment, and I'm not sure what advantages it gives us. Does it say? Okay. Promotion speed, cultural tradition, monthly prestige. Ooh, we also have pop-up assimilation speed. Yeah, this is great. Um, the assimilation rate at the moment is really bad because we are spiritualists. Honestly, I haven't seen a country that's more humanist than spiritualist. Maybe you guys have played with like some country that has like from the start this value here towards like humanist. I haven't seen it personally. So yeah. Anyway, uh yeah, let's do this. 2.5 stability isn't that much. We'll recover that stability eventually, so it's fine. So now if you look at this map mode, blockade, siege, okay. Yeah, this isn't really blockading anything, so we should probably maybe raise the naval levies. Not sure. These guys get disbanded. These guys get formed into one. Get the most competent guy, okay. Okay, the destruction of Amalfi. Okay, let me just send some help, I guess. We have devastation in this area. Yeah, it's fine, just leave it. Just leave it be. Right now, we're not making any money in this market, but it's fine. We'll eventually start making some money. Can we ask to improve cultural tradition? Actions, culture. Nope, we can't. Okay. So we've raised our naval levies. We can now send them to maybe blockade. I'm not sure it's gonna work. These are mostly transports anyway, so yeah. Yeah, no, that didn't do anything, I think. It's not blockaded. So I always pick administrative here because we have the proximity cost, I think. Proximity cost reduction, okay. Yeah, so that's a no-brainer. So we have a breach, but we can't blockade this port, which sucks. We're not really making that much money at the moment. We should really try and kickstart our, what do you call it, our economy. So maybe start building like some tailor guilds, what else is there? Yeah, build 2 of these actually. We should also look at some marketplaces. Maybe build some marketplaces as well. Build like 5 marketplaces. Ooh, they're all going here. I wonder why. So basically when you click on this thing here, it builds in like the most profitable areas, I think. But I think we should also have some in our capital. Or maybe there's already enough there. I'm not sure. Anyway. What's happening here? Oh, Bulgaria is taking over the Byzantines. Okay. The Karasids? What's this? Minor Beylik of the Karasids. And these are the Karamanids. Okay. Different people. Hmm. Yeah, I think I'm gonna side with the nobility here. So we have another devastated location. We should probably invest in a recovery effort. It's honest, it's always like a month. It takes like a month always, so it's not gonna be a big issue. Probably. There we go. Recovery effort finished. So now the question is, do we keep investing in our legitimacy, or why did we lose so many people? Died of disease. Right, because we also have the plague. Smallpox. Wow, so this isn't even like the Black Death. The Black Death hasn't triggered yet, I think. Yeah, this is just smallpox. Okay. So most of Italy is covered in smallpox. Okay. Yeah. Well, this is how things happen, I guess. Um, What should we do? Let me integrate this other province as well at the same time. Spend a bit more on the court. There we go. This is over. We can finally... Now we should probably annex this guy. Really small. There we go. Disband levies. Wait for this castle's belly to be finished. Bring spending to a minimum. Yeah, there we go. Gubino, Republic of Gubino. Okay. So are any of these like... No, they're not from another faction. That's fine. No problem. Close to being target of an international organization. Right, so these guys are a bit angry, but who cares? Who cares? Okay. Wow, the Byzantines are about to get like fully annexed, basically. Ooh, banking appeared. Amazing. Let's hope it spreads quickly. Why would the Byzantines threaten anyone? Like they're about to... Look, we have a casus belli of like follow through on threat against Byzantine Empire on behalf of Aquileia, our subject. Why would they dare to threaten us? That's a big mystery for me. Maybe we do take like this territory here after after they get freaking annexed or whatever's gonna happen to them. Because yeah, I think this war is basically over. The Byzantines are done. They're completely done. So yeah. Ooh. Yeah, we should definitely expand a few RGOs. The integration process is so slow because we also have like a city here. So yeah, it's gonna take a while. Great, now we have a casus belli. Ooh. Wow, we can take all of these guys out. Amazing. Okay, so I've decided to go to war again. Big surprise. This forced into faction CB kind of sucks because costs more to take territory, but it's the only one we have, so it's not that bad. And I don't think we have any forts in this war, so yeah, it's gonna be a piece of cake taking all this territory. Honestly, this is the kind of war you want. Yeah, I think these guys can go back to their farms. Am I improving relations with the Pope? Okay. Yes, I am, but it's showing up here because that's where the capital is. So do I go for appease the states, which gives them a satisfaction equilibrium of plus 2%, 2.5%? Or do I go for excellent diplomacy? Yeah, I think diplomacy is a bit more important right now. Maybe. Okay, so it's basically over for them. Where I think I'm gonna full annex everything because actually no, no. So I'm gonna make a subject here, annex this, annex this. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's actually what I'm gonna do. So do I separate piece? No, let me separate piece this guy. So he's a million. This country's a million. Okay. Amazing. And these two get annexed, which is perfect. 16 aggressive expansion. Yeah, I think we should probably chill for a while. Oh, isn't this our subject? Yeah, this is our subject. So why didn't we get called into this war if they're at war with Genoa? This makes no sense to me. Like someone needs to explain this logic because it's not making any sense. So if someone attacks my vassal, I can't protect him. This makes no sense. Okay, I guess they're just gonna get eaten up by whatever. Okay. Can we move our troops with... Okay, we can move our troops with our transports. Great. Amazing. So this is another way you can get rid of a cabinet member you don't like. The issue... No, wait. How do I change? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Maybe put this guy in charge to get a bit more... Yeah, our estate power is really low. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put professional armies appeared in Namur. Where's Namur? Okay, the Renaissance appeared in Genoa, Namur. Oh my god, what is this? This makes no sense. Um, So we have someone from our noble family that can maybe, yeah, that's not horrible, so we can appoint him. And yeah, let's put everything to a minimum. Forts, navies, everything. And just focus on subject regency. What's not have a king? The country is now ruled by through a subject regency. No way. This is the first time I've seen this. Albania loses 20 liberty desire, okay. We lose prestige. We lose a bunch of loyalty of subjects. Crazy. So why did Genoa decide to attack Pavia? This makes no sense. And why does my subject still have like relations with other countries? Right, because they're disloyal, I guess. They're allowed to have like what's it called? Yeah, whatever. Religious influence. We gain some legitimacy which isn't needed. And we gain opinion with the Pope. No, actually, then we're fine. We're fine. Oops. We might have spied on these guys for nothing. It's okay. It's okay. Can I force my subject into... No, I can't. I can't force them into the right faction. Yeah, because I forgot to also pick force into faction before I created the subject, so it's whatever. I think I think we're fine. I think Italy's gonna flip towards the Pope. I always forget which one's the Guelphs. Okay, so the Pope's the Guelphs. Yeah, I think we're gonna be fine, honestly. We might have to go to war with Genoa because they're just being assholes. Signoria Volera. This brings us into war with a bunch of guys. Do we want to fight them? Upper Bavaria. Okay. Ooh, Austria took a chunk of Italy. Look. Yeah, that's Friulian, so that's Italy. So if we ever want to form Italy, we're gonna have to fight Austria, which is always a pain in the ass. But it's good to see that the AI is becoming more aggressive, and I like to see the rise of the Austrians because it's historic. Also, the Ottomans should probably be stronger right now. Why isn't this war over? So the Ottomans are fighting. What are they fighting? They're fighting a war against these guys. Okay. Oh, look, Genoa's here. Wow. No way. Yeah, no, Genoa is really spread out. Look, I think Theodoro should also be a subject of... No, they're not a subject. These guys are a subject of Genoa, I think. Yeah, they are. That's insane. Yeah, they're flipping to Ligurian, which is, I think, yeah, the Genoese culture. Yeah, look, Ligurian is so small, like it's tiny. It's probably the smallest culture in Italy. What's this pink one? Greco. Yeah, some kind of Greek culture, I guess. Oh, look, the Albanians are here already. It's like 1,000 years early for the Albanians to be here. Okay, so these guys are gonna probably flip to Neapolitan, but Achaea, I think, flipped back to Greek. No, it stayed Neapolitan nominally, I guess, but it's probably gonna flip back to Greek, I think. They don't have bad control if you look at it. The Byzantines have horrible control. We also have pretty bad control ourselves, but um, yeah, it's kind of expected in the beginning to have like really bad control. Yeah, I'm just waiting for this war to be over so I can gobble up all of this. Who are these people? Are they in our faction? Yes, they are. Ooh, they've allied the Papal States. Okay, great. How do they have 18 ships? They have 18 ships. I think they bought mercenaries. Makes no sense. Ooh, this province here is controlled by Aragon. Cortona. Who popped this tiny nation? Because I don't remember seeing it earlier. Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to enrich the burghers for nothing. Just we're fine with them losing a bit of satisfaction. It's fine. A new outbreak of what? Measles? Yeah, it sucks. It sucks having to always flip back to what do you call it? Um, yeah, you have to flip back to recovery efforts. There we go. Help Terra di Lavoro. Okay, let's help them. Signoria di Verona. Lucca is probably a subject of Milan. Okay. Technically, we could probably fight Milan and beat their ass. We don't want to do that right now. Okay, so recovery effort is finished. We should probably do a recovery effort on this territory here as well. And then get back to integrating. But the integration process is so slow. It's painfully slow. Honestly, I would rather just annex subjects because, the meanwhile you have basically no control. Okay, we have a new queen. That's Neapolitan, finally. Horrible stats as always. The fact that we're still in a union with these guys is incredible. Vote to establish seniority, yes. Lose 10 legitimacy or 7 stability. No, I'd honestly probably lose the legitimacy. I'm fine with that. Okay, so maybe slowly we can integrate Provence, but I don't see that happening too soon. Yeah, let's just keep this guy the consort of the queen because yeah, he has horrible stats and he's the heir to Croatia. Now we don't need another marriage union. We're fine with this arrangement right now. We should probably create a casus belli against these guys to force into our faction. Yep. Stop building the spy network here. And also start creating a casus belli here as well. Does this cost diplomacy while it's building? No, it doesn't. Okay, so we're starting to build some diplomacy again. Yeah, this whole disease situation is pretty annoying. I don't know what disease this is. Taigina? No, actually that's the province. Sorry. It's measles. Okay. So everyone here is suffering from measles and a few other diseases, I guess. Great pestilence. Okay. So here's an interesting development. The consort of our queen is probably gonna die. Yeah, so we have an event where he dies. The nobility is super happy, I guess. And Hungary gets a claim the throne CB on us for 4 years. And we lose another 25 opinion with them. Okay. Or we can make him king and make everyone in the country like really angry. Yeah, I think we're just gonna do this, which is fine. So now we have to find a new consort for our queen. Looking around, I don't think we have that many options. Trying to look for like a closer country, but no. Maybe let's do country of finale. Yeah. Ooh, marriage union formed. Okay. So we have a bunch of unions here. Currently, we're voting on establishing seniority, and then we're gonna go down this route. Also, we can appoint a new cabinet member, actually a new cabinet action. We were integrating, I think, so let's integrate this province. Okay. Can't wait for this integration to finish because spending so much time integrating. Yeah. Has proposed that the Catholic Church enact excommunication on France. Wow. Yeah, a bunch of people voted for this, so maybe we should vote against? Honestly, I'm not sure. Yeah, let's vote pro. Let's excommunicate France. I hate France in this game. Honestly, not much is happening. Like, Bohemia is expanding, I think, as as per usual. The Teutonic Order is really aggressive this game. Yeah, so let me look at diplomacy a bit. Yeah, they're allied with the other orders. France is friendly towards Castile. Nothing new here. The Hundred Years' War is honestly balanced for what I've seen generally. France always wins. This time is taking a bit longer. And I think Bulgaria is going for the longest war in human history because, yeah, I think it's over. Because the Byzantines have zero troops left. You guys have won. What's the goal here? Take capital of Byzantium and install. Okay. Yeah, they can't take the capital, I think. I think they're sieging it down, but oh, we can see the siege progress. Wow. Yeah, I think we're gonna lose this Casus Belli by the time this war is over. We should have maybe acted sooner, but yeah, it's fine. I'm not really that keen on taking more territory here anyway. It was just an opportunity we might have wanted. So their loyalty is, wait a second. So they have their own subjects as well. Okay. Yeah, their loyalty is creeping back up, so that's always a good sign. And they're still Neapolitan. So slowly they should flip. I'm not really seeing that here, but who knows? Maybe eventually. Yeah. Also, Sicilian is very prevalent in this region. Wow. Anyway, let me see if I can improve cultural opinion with anyone from like the million culture group. Let me see, improve. Yeah, no. Let me look for culture. Enforce culture. No. Anyway, it's fine. Once we're done conquering, we should start to improve opinion with our subjects. So by the time this war is gonna be over, I'm gonna be in a great position. I've basically completely encircled encircled the Pope, and so this way he doesn't really expand anywhere. Yeah, he has this bit of territory here, but it's fine. It's honestly okay. No one really cares. Okay, so now we have another parliament issue. I think we're gonna change a few laws. Actually, just one law because that's all we're allowed. Um, Host army drills, gain army tradition. But we don't really have that much army tradition. Maybe that's a good idea. Okay. I always like it when I start off with more than 50%, so I don't have to do any of these, because these suck most of the time. So ask for a law change. Let's go to distribution of power, favor the ruler. Great. Now we should probably end up with like a bit more crown power. Yeah, maybe. We should also look for laws that increase centralization. Non-core levy size, okay. Oh no, never mind. Um, right now we have peasant levies. So levy recovery, levy combat efficiency. Maybe we should move towards this one. Okay. Right, so we should probably then pick central council to get more cabinet efficiency, progress towards centralization. Is there anything else that gives us centralization around here? I don't think so. Maybe we should also give out some more privileges, but nothing here really gives us, yeah, control of coinage isn't great. Land of commerce. Uh, the clergy. Cultural capacity. Yeah, no, I don't think there's any other privilege that's worth giving out at the moment. Common militias. Peasant levy plus 20%. This is actually pretty strong. Yeah, we don't need it right now because we're not fighting any big country, but yeah, this is actually a good privilege to have. Common militias. Okay. Yeah, we don't really have much in the way of like centralization. I don't know what's pushing us towards decentralization right now. So, wait a second. Changes towards decentralization due to average development in country, control in country. Feudal administration. Yeah, we should definitely change that. Market fairs. Yeah, we should revoke this privilege, I think. Common lands as well. Fortification licenses. Oh, yeah, no, we should definitely work on revoking these privileges. Wow. Common lands is actually really pushing us towards decentralization. And how much stability does that take away? 33. Yeah, I'm really keen on maybe taking this one away. But I also don't want to increase the power of the nobility by taking this away. Maybe I'm gonna replace it with another privilege. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, they're about to take Byzantium. The Ottomans aren't really doing much. They're expanding very slowly. We should probably start investing more in stability right now because we're gonna need to revoke privileges. We're gonna need to do a lot of stuff.